for effect. We are 3 grown men cosplaying on a Saturday night.
one of the nerdiest things you can probably cosplay. I mean,
our
in their own versions of cosplay, not even like good versions.
No, these are definitely cheap ass versions.
I don't know. He looks like he went all out.
No,
he wanted to look like this picture as much as he
Sturdy is the most spot on Cowboys fan I've ever seen.
We're not going to do that. We've talked about this. We're not going to use that disgusting stuff on you guys.
Hey, whatever you say, Kid Rock. I'm a cowboy.
No more slander. No more slander.
So should we reveal or do we need to talk about our avatars, or how do you want to do this?
Listen,
I mean,
I went Slytherin technically when I took the wizarding quiz. I wasn't Slytherin, but we can't have 2 of the same. So I happily went to Slytherin.
But here's the funny thing, Chris, is you say this because you were originally Ravenclaw, like you said. We are not supposed to have 2, but we do.
Do we?
With the other 2, yeah.
Oh,
fucking James.
I know.
Yeah, because I did the wizarding test too in the wizarding world, and I got Gryffindor. I wanted Hufflepuff. I've always said I want Hufflepuff.
I mean,
I thought it'd be Hufflepuff, and I was not. I ended up Ravenclaw.
Oh yeah.
But he switched just to be different. I mean, you can switch if you want. You don't have to.
But if I'm willing to switch to Slytherin, that kind of feels like it should qualify me to have been Slytherin to begin with.
Okay. Before we do reveals, can we pull up our the pictures behind us?
This right here?
Yeah, let me roast these for a few seconds.
Okay.
First of all, James, salt and pepper does not equate to blonde. So I'm gonna leave that alone, and I'm gonna move over to the 12-year-old boy to the right. You look like you're about to ride your bike home.
Yeah. Very well, I'm drunk.
But I mean, listen, then you can jump right on down to Cowboy Fan Sturdy down here.
Hey.
What I couldn't figure out was how to get my eyes to look less feminine. Like they look like girl eyes.
Sturdy looks like Jaleel White when he desperately didn't want to be connected to Urkel.
Jaleel White when he's trying to distance himself from Urkel.
Slick Rick goes to Hogwarts. But it's not even the worst. The worst is me. All right, the one here in the bottom right corner. I look like a teacher who flirts with his female students.
Well, that's what we were talking about. In fact, if your hair was blonde, we could have called you the Wizard and Zach Morris.
It's truly a douchebag thing. This would be the teacher that everybody's just like, Jesus Christ, man.
Hey, I write poems about wizards. Wizard poems. I write wizard poems. Want to hear them?
Yeah, I want to hear one.
We need to hear a wizard poem.
Well, welcome to Hogwarts, where your teacher is here. Boys go somewhere else. Girls, I don't want to say that because it's so disgusting, but that'd be like the fucking character wizard.
Let's all turn our cameras on now, and then once we drop this, we're all revealed at the same time.
That's even creepier because look at the way I'm dressed. No, it's not that creepy. I look like you said, a wrestler from the 80s.
It's true,
but not from the WWE.
Oh God, no.
From like Oregon State Wrestling,
like one of the traveling wrestling things that nobody's ever heard of.
You're on the Hogwarts wrestling team. You're scared. You're too scared of heights to do the Quidditch.
I look like Haggard if Haggard lived in Alabama.
Close enough. You're in Virginia.
You are close.
You know, you're down south.
See, it's funny because my avatar looks like the creepy guy who gives you massages at the office. But when you see what I'm dressed like, I look like the guy who like creepily waves and just says hi, and he doesn't feel threatening in any way, shape, or form.
It's you know
unless it's snakes or something.
It's not that your wand's not glowing red. That's blood from
Oh,
insertions.
Christ. Oh Jesus, you son of a gun! Let's reveal this shit. Get the show on the road.
we're waiting for you to turn your camera on, Playboy.
I can't see you.
I know. I can see Chris and me.
Oh, I got you. I see what you wanted to do. All right, I got you. Okay,
I'm
all
drunk.
right,
Make a
here we
stone.
go.
This is going to be a good time.
No, that's
Oh,
not
my.
fair. I just didn't know what we were doing.
See?
Look at this. Magic.
Woo!
We're here.
I don't know
We're
why.
here. Some nerdy ass shit, but fuck it. We're
I was
happy. We're happy
trying
about
to
it.
go for George Michael, Ron Weasley, but it didn't really work. My careless.
Now-
It is. No, I really like the George Michael. Had George Michael gone to Hogwarts as Ron Weasley comparison. The hair matches. It does.
This is
And obviously James not here.
yep,
I feel
he
like
did
we should point out he got
Point it
into
point it out.
Oh.
You gotta listen. If you point something out, you have to use your wand. Point it out, Chris. Or, sorry.
I feel like he got into his role a little too seriously. We had to tell him that's not how you ride the broom.
Yeah,
And now he needs some time to recover
he has splinters.
in some sensitive places.
That's all we're gonna say.
He's like, this is how you ride it if you want to go straight up.
He was wrong.
If you want to ride your broom like it's a rocket.
Oh, he wrote
Like,
it.
that's
so
not how you
hard.
play Quidditch.
He wrote it so hard he had to put on the invisibility cloak for a while.
Oh my god.
He had to go to alchemy class to learn how to figure out some kind of lube
Welcome,
recipe.
welcome.
We're off to a good start. We are off to a great start.
Listen,
He does have a punishment, though. We will tell you that he does have a punishment, and it's
drink your
this
mead.
movie right here. Nope, not that.
What are you watching?
What?
Movie 43.
Oh, this looks familiar.
Yeah,
I've
James
seen this
is like
cover.
that.
I haven't seen this movie.
It's terrible. It's fucking. Oh, it's so
he gets
bad.
to watch that next week. For ditching us.
He
for
might
a-
ask to watch Blood Lake after watching that.
Wedding that he was invited to.
So, and as we've pointed out, Sturdy looks the most like his character by far. He just needs the beanie.
I have a beanie. It's just not that one. It's a Horror Source 30 one, but it's a little too damn warm for that. I
Cowboys.
could get that one though.
When
No,
someone's gotta
no,
get it.
no. Told you about that. No, none of that.
No,
I was going to
when you'd rather we drop N bombs than C bombs. That's we know we've hit a nerve.
Yep. How's everybody doing tonight, though? How are you, Mimosa Wizards, doing on this lovely Saturday night?
Oh, Mick looks like if Tim Mimosa went to Hogwarts. That's what it is.
Tim Mimosa going to Hogwarts would be like, give me your lunch money, geeks.
No, there's no way I'm not wearing this robe at some point with nothing underneath.
You need to. It's
I've
a
also
given.
got the tie. You can't see it. It's because it's under the scarf, but it's here. I have a green tie.
Yeah, mine's downstairs. I didn't feel like wearing it. Maybe next time, maybe not. We'll see. Got my wand though. Do I remember do I remember what it's called? I do not. Or it's from I forgot.
I bought Dumbledore's wand because that was easier.
To remember.
Yes, than killing him.
I got Harry's. Borrowed it from my kid. Borrowed a scarf from my kid too.
Nice.
He wouldn't let me touch anything.
I
else.
can't believe I spent money on this, but that's fine.
You love it. You.
We're
wanna
fucking
bleach it
40-year-olds cosplaying cheaply
wanna
on
bleach it
a
white
on a
and
Saturday
become
night.
Gandalf
It
the
could be
White.
worse. We could be out there doing crack, and we're not. So listen, that's what you can always think about.
You can get your scarf tied up real nice there. Look at that. He looks
Yeah,
like
he looks
Proper-
like a rich kid.
He
at
does.
Hogwarts.
You look like the fucking rich Hogwarts kids that the poor
No
ones want
wonder
to
you're
pick
a
on.
Cowboys fan.
Listen. No.
Our goal tonight is to make Mick shit his pants.
That's not my goal.
You never know. So we're talking.
I mean, no, I know. I
Listen,
know.
be a magical Duke.
So,
The Magic Duke.
this is great. So I have fun trivia for you.
All right.
Okay, so abracadabra, we all know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's been like the words that we've always seen magicians say, right before they do something. And then in this movie, that is actually a word we got from abracadabra, which they use in these movies, and it's they kill somebody with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That actually is a word from Aramaic, and do you want to know what it actually means?
Long nipples.
Jesus Christ. You know what? This was fun until you did that.
You asked a question.
He ruins everything, just like all Cowboys fans.
Ruins everything. No, it means I create as I speak.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Abracadabra kind of derives from it. That's what it means.
Okay.
So magic.
I'm
glad I could point that out for you.
Good
We
job.
have you know what's messed up here? We have more in common with Hocus Pocus right now than we do with Harry Potter.
I beg to differ.
I'd have to rewatch Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, I could see it. We're the Sandersons for sure. Look at Sturdy with his Sarah Jessica Parker face.
Oh, as I pointed out, it's a good thing my robe hair is not white because this hat's super pointy.
That's what I was saying. I was like, you're gonna bleach it white and then off the white somewhere.
Oh, I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for our Wizarding series to be over before I break out the bleach for this guy. Yeah.
Jesus. Sturdy, you gonna go back to the 49ers when this is over?
Somebody needs a break.
Oh, he kicked him out.
Yep. the Cave of Wonders or some shit like that. They say that in the movie, don't they? Cave of Hollows, Sleepy Hollows, something.
Jesus
Deathly Hollows.
Deathly Hollows. Deathly Hollows. Harry Potter
Sleepy Hollows.
Sleepy Hollows.
I don't know what I meant.
Sleepy Hollows in your fucking state.
Listen,
you live near Sleepy Hollow.
I'm just
that was a totally different TV show.
I'm looking that up.
And movie.
13 minutes in, we haven't talked about any movie yet.
We're talking about some shit.
We're about to talk about Fantastic Beasts. Both of them, 1 and 2.
By the way, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them seems like it could easily double for the name of a porn movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Crimes of Grindelwald could too, but
definitely that's all sodomy
versions.
Oh man.
Yeah, what Johnny Depp did at home with Amber Heard. That's
wand dildos all over the place, throwing them at each other.
You, sir, are a problem.
Shitting in the bed.
Yeah, you are 2.5 hours away from Sleepy Hollow. You should be going down there for Halloween and doing something fun. Horror with Sir Sturdy.
From Sleepy Hollow.
This isn't Sleepy Hollow time. This is Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
You don't think the Headless Horseman's a Fantastic Beast?
No.
Oh.
Sturdy's like, you're off next week, dickhead.
He's good. But he's not a beast. He's not fantastic.
Fair.
All right.
So, first movie?
Where are we starting here?
First movie, but they kind of blend anyway. So
so the first movie. This is actually the second time I've seen this. I watched it the first time when it came out, not in theater, I think it must have been on some kind of streaming when I watched it. I was a big Harry Potter fan, so I went and gave that one a try. I didn't watch the second or third one of these. And this was the first time watch for Crimes of Grindelwald for me.
Mhm.
But rewatching this, other than obviously the first time I watched this, all that shit with what's his name that plays Credence in this hadn't happened yet.
Mm.
Where he had fucking kidnapped someone and
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He had such a stupid fucking haircut in the first movie. It was bothering me so much.
it doesn't
Yeah.
get better in the second in this one.
It gets a
It's
little
the
bit.
same haircut.
His hair.
The Flash.
Well, you see more of it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
He's in it more than he is in the first one. So, like, God, man, these movies just did not do it for me.
Really?
No, like they're good. I mean, I get and I like the first one. The first one I really enjoy.
Yeah, I did like the first one.
Want to do early? Well, let's want to do early ratings.
Yeah,
let's do early ratings for the first one real quick. Or you want to do them both?
it's up to you. It's your show.
Chris.
Oh shit. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I will give it a 6.5.
Okay. You got one for part 2?
Part 2, I'm gonna go 6.
6. Mick?
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I'm going to go 7. And for the second one, I'm probably 5.
All right.
And I'm being nice.
For me, for the first one, I'll say 7.5. For the second, I'll say 5.5. I'll say 5.5.
It just, I don't know what it is about these movies. They just, like, because the Harry Potter movies, I wasn't always into those either. So I could see why these didn't really stick out to me either.
Mm-hmm.
But I understood the Harry Potter movies. I was like, I get why people love these movies. Like, I do. I understand the beauty behind them. The Fantastic Beasts movie, I was just kind of like, I don't care.
I think part of it with the Fantastic Beasts movies is, now that they finished the Harry Potter movies, people are just looking to go back to that world, but you can't do Harry Potter again. Rebooted already in the same fucking movie format. So, like, how can you build on that? It's obviously they want to keep a franchise going. They're working on the reboot TV series now.
Yeah.
Were these books before? I don't even know.
Fantastic Beasts? I'm not sure.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them was. I don't think all of them were.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, though.
So they had the idea there, and then they just fucking ran with it.
Yeah.
But this one for me doesn't have the character connection that the Harry Potter movies do by any means. Like, you have fucking Newt Salamander, right? Is that it? The salamander?
Yeah,
your brother.
You do kind of look like the brother in this. I don't think you see him in this one.
It could have easily been Chris playing this role, and then we could have been in a better spot right now.
Like, these movies don't have the character development. Like, you meet him and everybody's where they're gonna be already. It's like you're not growing with these characters. It's just another. Part of it is just another story in the universe.
Do you feel like it's just to kind of get through them, just so because they know people really want to see the Harry Potter stories, and they're like, okay, let me go back and watch these 3 movies really quick, and then get back to the Harry Potter, because they could have really went deeper and maybe did, like, say, if they did the character development and all that, they could have easily did, say, like, maybe 1 more movie, so they did 4 instead of 3.
Well, I wonder what the plan was before Johnny Depp went on trial and
all that
they
shit
fucking
happened.
pulled him from the third movie because he got recast in the third movie. So I don't know if they plan to try to make more of them. What they did with these movies, you see more in the second one, is introduce, like, the legacy names of characters from the Harry Potter movie, like Lestrange,
Yeah.
Dumbledore. You see that? You hear that more.
Nagini, where fucking Voldemort's snake comes from.
Mm-hmm.
In the second one as the human, and they describe her as, I don't even know what they called her, like a human that's eventually going to turn into her animal form for good.
Yeah,
That's a
they
good point.
They did.
That's what they did with it is a good point. That's what they utilized these movies for, was to lay the groundwork for like all the backstory to more history for those kinds of Harry Potter
I
names.
guess. Yeah, you're right about that, because I was watching some with my wife, and she's seen these movies. She's seen these movies a few times, but she's seen the Harry Potter movies, God knows how many times. So like the Easter eggs and stuff, she was pointing those out for me because she knew I would miss them.
Yep.
It's like remind me for the movies, even though we're going through them again. But so it was kind of cool to see that. I do kind of wish there was a better story, like a better character development, but at the same time, I didn't mind this movie. I enjoyed the collection of the beasts, like him going through and collecting all the different beasts in different ways. I thought that was kind of fun and funny, and kind of cool actually.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, though. I felt like it set up a lot of potential for some cool stuff, and then it just rushed this Grindelwald storyline, and I just like, they did sort of take the focus from Newt Scamander, Scarmander. What is his name?
Scalamander. That's
Scamander. They did sort of take the focus from him and go to this whole Grindelwald, and really by the third one, when you see it, it's almost like they were kind of like, all right, let's just make a Dumbledore movie. We'll call it the third Fantastic Beasts movie. Like,
there's two different ways to watch these movies, and I don't know if I've talked to anybody that's watched Fantastic Beasts movies before they've watched Harry Potter yet. Because if you watch Harry Potter first and then watch the Fantastic Beasts, because that's the age we're at and that's the way the movies came out, like now we're watching it it's basically just more backstory. You're like, you know where this is all leading, and like who the fucking names are. But if you're watching Fantastic Beasts first before you haven't seen Harry Potter yet, maybe it hits. I assume it would hit differently. Like if you get involved in this world
this thing's coming
through
off.
Fantastic Beasts.
God, that was uncomfortable.
Well, you did it for a little bit. You did it.
To do it for a little bit.
It's true. We hung out for an hour before we went live, and that was on the whole time.
Mick, I'm proud of you, buddy.
Listen, I don't want to.
Just shouldn't have had it on while we were not doing anything.
It's true. The thing was, like, I don't want to throw around the word hero, but who's your hero, Sturdy?
That was a merkin, by the way. That wasn't just a wig for the head.
Jerry Jones.
I heard enough of what he was going to say to know what he was saying.
I heard what he said. All that nonsense.
Emmett Smith.
Anyways,
I mean, I would have went with Terrell Owens, but
he was a 49er.
He was on the Cowboys.
Jerry Rice.
Drafted as a 49er.
What other Cowboy has been arrested? All of them.
Probably. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about beasts that are so fantastic.
Talking about the movie.
Fantastic Beasts.
What's that?
The 1993 Cowboys.
I don't care about that.
He laughs like a child, and it's great. It makes me laugh even harder.
You know what the funny part is? Like, Sturdy wanted me to shit myself tonight. Like, that's all he wanted. But
that's what I'm the one that's been saying that.
The closest,
yeah,
the closest I'm gonna come to it is like making fun of his Cowboys thing, and he still is like, no, Don't do it.
I'm all for it. I'm the one that keeps saying the goal was to make you shit your pants.
I mean, right now you look like a Lions fan. In the picture, in your avatar
Oh,
picture, you
that's
look
true.
like
You could be a Lions fan.
I'm
so
not.
you look
But
like two different fans right now.
Lions may be more appropriate.
Lions and Cowboys and Sturdies. Oh my!
none of that there.
Oh god!
Favorite?
What's the spell for forgetting?
The what?
What's
Oh, the
spell for
Oblivion.
forgetting? Oblivion.
Oblivion.
Ah, Oblivion.
I say Oblivion, and you will not remember that you were gay. Oblivion.
Oblivion. Favorite beast.
30 doesn't remember.
Favorite beast. I really enjoyed Niffler, who keeps who keeps stealing shiny shit and money.
Yeah,
He's fucking hysterical.
that
Yeah.
fucking thing. I see. I didn't like these. I just didn't like them. I respect them. I respect the acting. I just
Eddie Redmayne grew on me.
It was
I didn't
too
mind them.
fantastical.
Too fantastical.
I don't know. I'm not a fantasy guy, so
Ah,
Says
but
the
I
says the
respect
Star Trek lover.
that the fucked up part about that is like that fantasy. I'm a sci-fi guy, first of all, but you can't really say Star Trek is fantasy. You could say it's science fiction because it's plausible. Other than the speed, like
You can't. You don't believe in the Loch Ness monster? You can't tell me these beasts don't exist.
no. But what I'm saying, no, that's not what I mean. But like the fantasy side comes from like Star Wars. If you want to, that's more fantasy. But that's a completely different argument. No, I think I like the Harry Potter movies 3 through the rest.
mm-hmm.
Everything else, like these and the first 2 Harry Potter movies, just they seem so like juvenile and
I mean, they are more innocent. Everybody's kind of younger. and
Oh
then
no, there's a huge change between 2 and 3, and
I
we'll
was
get
gonna
to
say
that when we get to
really
it.
shit really starts kicking off between like 2 and 4.
Here's
From
the
what I
problem. If Voldemort is all powerful, first of all, you fucked yourself because you're all powerful villain, like legit, like the memes are real. Like he's just trying to take over high school and he doesn't succeed. So like he's just sort of an evil guy who lurks in the shadows and like kind of controls things, right? That's your most powerful entity, the name you cannot say. So now when you go back to a prequel, how do you have anyone that's as powerful or more? You can't.
You're not wrong. Like they talk about Grindelwald later on in the Harry Potter series. There's references to him and stuff. But I'm watching Fantastic Beasts and I'm like, this isn't gonna hit because I know where it's going. I know the most powerful, biggest wizarding threat isn't even here yet.
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp is a douche. But
Yeah, but I mean, like, I didn't mind them changing faces. Like he could do that, like change his appearance if they wanted to continue it. But I would have made the guy, if you were going to make him powerful, but he couldn't be as powerful in wizarding as Voldemort, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would have made him powerful in the sense of like almost kind of like a Hitler.
what?
Like taking over little by little to like try and destroy muggles.
Is that not what he's doing by the end of the second movie there when he gathers everybody and sends them out to kind of spread the word?
Yeah, but they did not convey it well. Like it wasn't like by this point he should have been one of the ones running. Like when you get, because I'm still adding the third one in there too. So like there's an election and all this stuff. So Grindelwald should have grown to the point. I think instead of making him like this fugitive who's running, like they should have made him to a point where like he's grown in such popularity that people are just like, yeah, we're with you. And that's the scary thing that
Okay.
Dumbledore has to fight.
No, it's a good point because
Point.
you get through.
Your rules, not mine.
That's true. I gotta point at the camera. It's a point. Yeah, they don't really establish Grindelwald's rise to power or anything like that because they start Fantastic Beasts. He's an entity that's out there, and I don't even know if they mention him in the first 3/4 of Fantastic Beasts. Up until towards the end.
Yep, and then all of a sudden,
and he's just this big villain that's out there, and Colin Farrell turns into Johnny Depp, super pale version.
Yeah,
because he's out to kill the no Maj.
Yeah, in America they call him no badge, where it's Muggle.
Versus Muggle, which Muggle is the better term for me.
Muggle is the better term. I agree.
Agreed. Way
better. Yeah, all of it is. There's no. That would have been interesting to see the rise. There's no rise of Grindelwald. He's already there, and it's hard to take it that kind of villain.
Yeah, that would have been
seriously.
That would have been a good number 2. Like you see him at the end, whatever, and then number 2 is about him, kind of his growth or whatever, kind of backstory, something for him, so we know who he is. Part 3 is where.
Well, I mean, number 2 is more of his backstory and him getting there, but like they already tried to portray the level he was already the evilest wizard out there in Fantastic by the end of Fantastic Beasts. Like they didn't do anything to really establish and build on his villainry. He's just the bad guy.
Yeah, it honestly, and I felt like it drove too closely to like, let's get Dumbledore in here as quick as possible. Because, like I said, like they kept him in there, and they kept all the characters in there, but like they did feel like they take a backseat by the third one. And again, it's like to me, I'm like, he can't be the most powerful wizard because then that just undersells Voldemort and then sells you an entire other fucking thing.
But could he be most powerful at the time?
No, like because that's the thing about Voldemort. He's like was the most powerful ever and the scariest. Like that's why. Like,
well, that goes back to me saying if you haven't watched the Harry Potter movies yet, and you start with Fantastic Beasts, you don't know anything about the Harry Potter movies.
If you get to the Harry Potter,
how does it play out for you?
If you start chronologically and watch these movies and get to the Harry Potter movies, when they talk about Voldemort and they say he who should not be named or he who will not be named or whatever it is, how do you rationalize that with your thought and being like, so this guy was the most powerful ever, and now we get here and who shall not be named? Like, it's so odd. It's such a big disconnect. Like, you would have compared when talking to it, be like, he who should not be named, much like Grindelwald. You know, like you would have used Grindelwald as sort of a jumping off point. So,
well, my question is because again, I've only seen the Harry Potter movies once, so I'm not very, very familiar with them. So they both existed at the same time the whole time.
Well, no. It's these take place in the 20s or 30s or something.
No, that's what I'm saying. So he could have been the strongest in the 20s, and then the next one could have been the strongest of all time.
And what I'm saying is, like, once you get to Voldemort, though, if you have Grindelwald and you're dealing with Dumbledore, who knows Grindelwald and is this close with him, his name is going to come up when dealing with Voldemort or talking about him or things like that. Like, if he's supposed to be this as powerful of a wizard and this big menacing wizard, literally the only other one besides Voldemort that we know right now within the same century. And like it's just, it was too much. That's why I was saying, I was like, you should have just made him not the most powerful wizard, but like somebody who, or I don't know if he was the most powerful. I think that's why they had the Flash kid, Ezra Miller. Wasn't he the most powerful or something like that? It was Dumbledore's brother.
Creed, right?
Credence.
Credence.
Yeah.
He wants to. So in Fantastic Beasts, Credence is. You don't know any of his backstory. He's just kind of like in like a foster care type situation, ran by a crazy woman that's like anti witch and wizard, suppress the magic type thing.
Speaking of the beast from earlier,
There's Niffler.
That weird bird
Yeah.
that was flying around.
I laughed the most at Niffler, watching him steal shit.
Oh yeah, that was funny. This shit right here.
The beasts are cool in this. But
This was supposed to be a 5-movie franchise.
Yeah, but they just... Man, could you imagine if there was like if they turned this into a World War II type of scenario between the wizards trying to stop the growing power in the wizarding world from destroying humans? Like, that would have been an awesome epic to do. And like Newt Scamander, that's why we talk about him and not Grindelwald in the future, because they do like reference Newt Scamander in the Harry Potter movies. So like that's why like that would make more sense to me if like they made this big like epic journey where like he was the hero in the end. The reason Dumbledore looked at him as this huge hero who stopped Grindelwald. But then you get, so like when you get to the future and they see his name, it's like, yeah, one of the greats. Like, story for another time.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. Fucking redo it, WB. Figure it out.
They probably will. They might. Aren't they doing the movies again? Aren't they doing the series?
They're rebooting the series on HBO as a TV show.
So first season will be the first book.
Actually, there was. I'm watching the first movie. There is one quote I wrote down, which I thought was really good. Something about somebody asked Newt why he if he's worried or why he's not worried, and he's like, "Worrying means you suffer twice." I'm like, you know what? That's actually a great fucking quote.
Great point.
Yeah,
great point.
That was a solid piece of writing right there.
That's true.
Yeah. Suffer twice.
You guys want to hear a funny story? So my kid, super into Harry Potter. Like when he was younger, he was way more into it. Like now he reads them or watches the movies, but like that's really where it goes. But this like is his old shit, you know? So Ivermorny, the school in in America, when he was, I think he was 8 or 9, he was like talking about, oh, I can't wait to get my letter. I want to go, blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, and he was reading up all the stuff, and he's just like, it's not Hogwarts in America. It's, this one. So I went to like this place and had the letter made, and they adjusted so that way it's like, this is your pre-letter to let you know you'll be getting your letter when you turn 11 years old. And like the joy on this kid's face when he saw this freaking letter was worth it. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
And now he's 12 and he's disappointed because he didn't go.
Oh.
I was like, we can't afford tuition, dude. Sorry.
Oh.
No. He's yeah, but that was pretty cool. So parents, go do some of those services if your kid's a Harry Potter fan.
Nick, you should do that for Chris. He'd feel really good about that.
I would.
I will.
So, actually,
from Tim Mimosa to Tim Mimosa.
From Tim Mimosa.
To Tim Mimosa
is the Wizard of the Dark Arts and Ivermorny.
Yes. So in the first movie, they reference Newt getting thrown out of Hogwarts, but they literally never expand upon that because he's best friends with Dumbledore in the second movie, or Dumbledore's looking after him. They don't say how he got kicked out, do they?
If I remember correctly, it's Dumbledore kicked him out, and it was like an undercover thing. Like, so, like, I think we're gonna find that out in the third one. Like it was just like one of those things like where it's just kind of he's been like going undercover to sort of draw out Grindelwald or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's hold off on that question until we get to the third one because I'm pretty sure
Fair.
the answers.
Okay. Fair enough.
If I'm wrong, then you can punch me in the dick.
I'm not gonna do that. Chris might, but I won't.
Oh, you're sweet.
They had of course, the classic bait and switch here because Ezra Miller has a little blonde, I'll just, for lack of a better term, adopted sister in the foster home, where they portray her as the repressed, unable to control her magical ability, obscure. Is that obscura? Is that what they were calling her?
I forget.
Obscural. And it turned out to be Ezra Miller.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie does have a bait and switch.
Yeah, fuck. I did not. I'm telling you, I just do not like these movies.
They weren't bad.
They weren't bad. I enjoyed them.
They were fun, but they're just.
I don't
They're
know.
not Harry Potter.
I have.
It's a different fucking experience if you don't know Harry Potter and watch these first.
But here's the thing. Like, I have period piece problems.
So do most women.
There are certain periods I can't watch. Just
Wait,
like,
do you watch periods, Mick?
It seems,
you know what I mean. No, but like
doesn't
this
seem like the best viewing.
Victorian era. Like, I just
That
don't
seems
care
like
about
the worst.
I remember I read The Great Gatsby and everybody's like, it's such a great book. I'm like, I don't care.
The Great Gatsby sucked.
I was like, I don't care. I was
Oh, so quick side note: did you ever read "Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius"
no.
from Dave Eggers? So this book fucking sucks. I read this. Like it was. The name was getting thrown around a lot, and I ended up reading it. And then there was this dude that started working at my job, and he loved the book, and he was fucking annoying. And I told him that book should be called. So the book was called "A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius." I referred to it as a mediocre work of staggering pretentiousness, and told him the book sucked. And then he didn't talk to me for 3 days, and that was the best 3 days I ever had at work while he was there.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Chris was waiting to get that off his chest for a while.
And dude, like, it wasn't even him. It wasn't even how much he annoyed me. I'm like, that's what the book was. It sucked. It did not earn the praise that it was getting.
Fuck that book, is what Chris wants us to say.
Fuck that book. Jesus.
So that was a side note. I forgot what we were talking about already.
Fucking Grindelwald. Crimes of Grindelwald.
His crimes were rough.
Oh man, yeah, this one was even more.
Weird crimes.
Yeah, the first one was quite a bit better, honestly.
Yeah, it doesn't like really get better from here.
Poor Jacob, by the way. At the end of the first one, where he falls in love with Queenie, they send him out into the rain to be obliviated.
Yep. Forget everything, and then
he switches the case and he gets his bakery though.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, there's not a single reference of in the second one where they're all in fucking London. No concern for the bakery.
Well, she put him under that spell, so he forgot about the bakery at that point. And then so much crazy shit happened.
Queenie goes evil. Queenie gets sucked into the fucking cult of Grindelwald.
Yep.
So sad.
I'll give it that. That was a little heartbreaking.
That was.
Yeah. Because Jacob's a good character.
He's fun. I enjoyed him. Watching him run from the beast in the first one, like the fucking rhino, when they're trying to trap rhino thing.
Oh,
when they're
that
trying to
was
trap
fun.
that in the zoo. He's in the tree. Yeah. The rhino tried to fuck him.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That was a good one.
About to get some fantastic bestialities. What they were doing in that shit.
Fantastic bestiality.
Holy shit! But it didn't happen.
No,
It didn't need to happen.
luckily, it's not a kids' movie when bestiality is involved.
No, sprinkle the magic on that.
All right, guys. Every time we all have good points, let's touch tips.
Touch tips.
Oh, I gotta get closer to the camera.
Go touch the tips.
Touch the tips.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Tip touching. Hashtag tip touching.
Tip touching. Wand tips. That's for you guys out there. You're welcome.
This is us touching the audience.
Yep. Put your
Hashtag Cowboys are going to have a sturdy year.
Yeah, mine's more brown than I thought.
I half expected Sturdy to walk in with like a light up one.
I want to light up one. Just don't have one.
You just need to put it in some places that bleed.
Wow.
And then shine a flashlight on it with your other hand.
A flashlight on it?
Yeah.
That's crazy, Chris. That's crazy talk.
I'm fucking drunk.
So this is the beginning of our journey.
Yeah.
Hold on. Newt Scamander, when we get to the second movie, has a travel ban, which I thought was pretty funny because of his time in New York.
Yeah.
Like they won't let him leave the country because of all the beasts. And
That's right. You had to fuck down them shits in a suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had to sneak out in a bucket.
And
Bucket at that.
there's baby nifflers, which were one of my favorite beasts in the second one. Like there's even a slow-mo scene where one's flying on the cork of like a fucking champagne bottle. I don't know why that cracks me up so much.
Ooh, baby.
But I did, again, watching this after watching the Harry Potter movies, and they introduced a person as Voldemort's snake, Nagini.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of explained, that part was fascinating to me. That actually got my attention.
When she turned into the snake and all that?
But just the fact that there's a background story to Voldemort's snake.
Oh, yeah. That's true, too.
Because there's no kind of indication of that in the Harry Potter movies at all. Like, it is a snake that follows Voldemort's command because he can speak to snakes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think in the Harry Potter movies they talk about, I don't even know the term that they called it, a person that's eventually going to turn into their animal form permanently.
Oh, I don't know. Don't remember. We're going to find out in a couple of weeks. Can't wait. And I think that is the problem. Like I said, I did see the Harry Potter franchise, the films one time, about a year ago, maybe 2 years by now. I don't remember them very well, but I remember them enough. I know they're definitely better than these two so far. I didn't see the third one yet. Probably better than those two. Had I not seen those and watched these, I think I would like these two a little bit better. But
see, I'd be like I said, I'd be
them
curious. I'd be really curious to talk to somebody that didn't know anything about Harry Potter and watch these movies first.
Yeah, if there's anybody that's in the comments that's here that's never seen or that started with these and then went to the Harry Potter movies, let us know below. What were your feelings on these? Are your feelings on these?
What about when Newt pulls that parasite out of the Black Wizard's eye?
That
fucking ugh.
See, and I'm used to shit like that and gorier, creepier, nastier shit because of the horror stuff. So that was cool. That was like subtle for me. But that was.
And honestly, one of the more unbelievable things in this movie, obviously there's a lot of stuff going on, but it seemed super easy for them to break into the French Ministry of Magic here. Like Newt and
I feel like that might have been a joke.
A joke?
Like
like an
to break it, to just walk in with their polyjuice potion and just get to wherever they needed.
Yeah.
Polyjuice potion.
But those fucking creepy ass cats.
Those shits look cool with the blue eyes.
That shit was cool.
Yeah, hell yeah, those shits are the coolest shits in there.
Like,
I mean, there's no shortage of awesome creatures in these movies.
oh, the giant fucking Chinese cat, like flying cat or something he's trying to tame that goes wild, and he breaks out the cat toy to lure him into the fucking suitcase. That was pretty fucking funny, actually. I enjoyed that. And then he becomes friends with him.
Yep.
Because he's trying to fucking cuddle him later as they break out of the Ministry of Magic after they get out.
This right here.
Oh, that thing is fucking freaky.
And then you got the cats right there with their eyes. Those were dope.
That was super cool. And it's like, they won't bother you unless you attack them first. And then she fucking did. And it fucking split it into like 3 more. Like, they multiply.
Yeah,
I'm like, holy, that was fucking cool.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, they have some cool elements in these. That's why, like, I respect them. They're just not for me. Like, I don't know what they lack something comparatively to the Harry Potter.
I mean, the story, you could say comparatively, the story's not as good.
Yeah, that's true. They do feel rushed.
But it doesn't go as deep.
That's the thing. Like, it's not a deep story. These movies start out with where the characters are already going to be.
I feel like I mean that does hurt it though, because for these type of films, for these type of like what do you call, like mythical type of fantasy films, you do want something that has a story with what's going on, so you know what the fuck's going. You know what I mean? So you can understand it more. You want it to go a little bit deeper and just get some with the mythology of it, I guess.
And one of the things that annoyed me, this movie is Credence is back. We thought he died at the end of the first one, like Credence was gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's back in this one. He's basically trying to figure out who the fuck he is. And you get to the story of him as a baby. They're escaping on this boat. He's a Lestrange. You think he's a Lestrange. The scene in the fucking tomb, by the way, where they're just fucking telling the story, just keeps on going and going and going. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a whole lot of fucking story here. And then you get to I don't even know what the female Lestrange's name was. Zoe Kravitz, whatever her character's name was. But like, she's in charge of watching the baby, who's you think is Credence as a baby. Like, won't stop crying, puts him down. She gets sick of hearing the baby cry. She basically picks up a different baby, and who you think Credence is dies on the boat. Like, when the boat sinks, this boat sinks. But apparently, you find out he's a Dumbledore. The other baby on the boat was a Dumbledore. There's no explanation yet, in this movie at least. I haven't seen the third one, as to the Dumbledore family tree and why there was a baby on this boat of the Dumbledore
they do give
lineage.
It to the third one.
Okay,
it's the Secrets of Dumbledore, I think, is the third one. And
yeah.
By the time you get into that one, like, you visit his other Dumbledore brother, and they kind of get into it. So,
there is just so much story in this one. Like, and it's done expedition. I don't even, like, super quick. I can't even think of the word I want to use. It's just done. It was like glossed over.
yeah.
Like, they put the very high points out there. It's weird.
Yeah, they did. They did. And
it's still a fucking almost 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
Both
like I
of them.
said, this one doesn't bridge the gap well for me. Like, this is just a really dry movie.
I could see how it's a setup for whatever comes next, by far. That's what this movie is. Whether you like what the next movie is or not. This is a setup, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope the next one's better, or at least as good as the first one. But I mean, I really can't wait to get into the Harry Potter.
But like the scene in the tomb where you have the black Lestrange like I almost said magician, wizard. like going over his story about why he's looking for Credence and wants to kill him. And you spend 10 minutes listening to him lay out this big story. And then you get the, oh no, but wait. Now, Zoe Kravitz, the female Lestrange, has a whole story to tell. I'm like, fucking come on.
Yeah.
Just wasn't for you, Chris. It just wasn't for you, and that's okay.
No, I mean, it's interesting enough, but I'm like, they could have. It's like they saved all this fucking story for this 10-minute window as opposed to building on it or filming things different ways or telling the overall story a different way.
Yeah, that's one thing I hate about like when things do take a little bit of time to kind of build. It's like this felt like it was rushed without giving you a lot of information. At the same time, not giving you like enough for a lot of information, and like too long of a movie for the non-information they did not give you, or the non-build-up, or the non-development from the characters they did not give us.
And there's also the fact that, so first off, there is Dumbledore's not in the first movie at all. There's some references. They use his name a little bit. This movie, he comes in, and every time you see him, he makes a point to say he can't fight Grindelwald. Don't know why. This movie starts with Grindelwald in captivity, breaks out of captivity. They focus on this charm that's his. You don't know what it is. It turns you eventually learn it's this blood pact. Him and Dumbledore were childhood best friends. They made some kind of blood pact that they'll never be able to fight each other.
More than that, they were in love with each other.
Yeah. So you hear go through this movie this whole time. Dumbledore's like, I can't fight him. I can't. You don't learn until technically don't learn until the end. They had this blood pact. That's what this charm is. It's a blood pact. That Niffler gets off Grindelwald in one of the final scenes there, because Niffler is the best character for me in these movies.
Niffler.
So like there's hardly any background to that. There's just a couple flashes.
It'll come up in the third.
Okay.
That's why I don't mean to interrupt on it. Like they really touched down on it in the third.
That's fine, but I feel like they could have put a little more into these movies to really set that up if that's where they knew they were going.
Completely agree. I don't think they did. Because even like the love story between Grindelwald and Dumbledore, it's just, it feels forced. Feels like more like they were trying to, I don't know, like just have a homosexual relationship in it, which I don't care, but at least do it like
that. See, that's when people complain about it. That's when people complain about shit like that, is when it feels forced. If you can't build that naturally because you weren't planning for it,
then don't do it at all.
And if that's the case, I'm sorry, but like, why isn't the first movie about? Because like that's the thing I think about. I think about like The Last of Us, who tells that amazing story about the homosexual relationship.
Oh, episode 3, I believe. Fucking
brilliant story, brilliant show.
One of the best episodes. I want to go back and watch that. That was just a fucking amazing episode.
Yeah, I actually want to do a watch party for that, but hell yeah.
Why can't we have that story? Tell the first movie where it's Dumbledore and Grindelwald when they're young, and then see the divide. Like we just saw Transformers 1, where we get that with Optimus Prime and we get that with Megatron, and like at the beginning and how it happened and how it all came about. Like, wouldn't that be more fun? Like to see Dumbledore going through some crap than introduce this character who, was touched down on a little bit in the Harry Potter movies. And then, I don't know. I just like, I felt like this is a missed opportunity, honestly.
See, it's not like the ideas for stories they had were bad in any of this. It's just, it doesn't seem like it was fleshed out enough.
Not put together well enough, yeah.
But for me, I don't. And eventually you find out Credence is a Dumbledore at the very end. But I don't know. It doesn't hit again because like the fucking I was a big Harry Potter
Mhm.
fan. Like I read all the books more than once, a couple times, watched all the movies a few times. So I'm like, that's the storyline that was just imprinted in my brain. So I'm watching these movies, kind of just looking for that like nostalgic reference, a little more backstory and shit like that. So I know none of this really matters. Like you know where all these characters are going to end up.
Yeah, it's gonna go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'd be curious to talk to somebody that doesn't have that history that fucking watches these first and they're like, oh, let me watch Harry Potter after.
Yeah, I guess you'd almost have to talk to someone who's only seen these like now, then, and
Yeah.
then like getting ready to just like, you know what? Let me check out Harry Potter now, finally, or whatever.
As much as I don't want to talk to kids that young, because they make me feel old.
It could even be people that are older that just never dove into it, and then these came out, and they're like, "Fuck it, let me check these out." And because they come before Harry Potter, I'll check these out, and they just get into Harry Potter. I don't know.
Well, it was like I was a staunch anti-Harry Potter person for like the first two movies.
Shit, I was.
And then I'm like, it was fucking all over the place, and I don't know when the fucking switch flipped. I'm like, I might as well watch these and see what it's about, and I just got fucking sucked in.
Yeah, for me, it was whenever I did the watch party. Actually, you were a part of it, a lot of it. When I did the watch party for him, remember that on Stream Lounge a year or two ago.
The nerdiest moment of my life is probably when I spent a little over an hour explaining the Harry Potter saga to a buddy of mine who just asked what it was about.
There you go. See, man, listen. It's not as bad as I thought it was, and I can't wait to really continue this journey. I can't wait to get to the Harry Potter portion of it. And James, you better be here next week. Make it a point to be here. Let us know how movie 43 was, how you felt about these two movies, and part 3.
E.T. Phone Home. This makes me want to say E.T. Phone Home.
Yes. Phone Home E.T. But I guess we can wrap this one up, though. We're going to get our magic asses on out of here and go relax for the rest of the night. And we will see you guys next week for Fantastic Beasts Part 3.
The only movie in this series that we're doing on its own, by the way.
Which will line up all the Harry Potters how we need them to and want them to anyway. So, yeah.
It seems appropriate as Johnny Depp is. It's all kinds of things. It's the third movie. Johnny Depp got replaced. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seemed like the perfect movie to just do the one-off on.
Hey, that's why we're doing it. We're doing it for Johnny Depp.
I don't do anything for Johnny Depp. He's a douchebag.
Oh, Johnny Depp's a Jew. What he said.
Did you say? It sounded like you said Jew.
No, I did not say that.
In the show. We're going too far.
You see? It's always these guys, man.
That's what you get from a Cowboys fan.